Hello, 8th grade. Welcome back to school. My name is Mrs. Roberge. I am the resource room teacher in 8th grade, for those of you that haven't had a chance to meet me yet. I make a lot of videos like this throughout the distance learning process to help the kids that are at home. You're going to miss some lessons. You might need a more clear picture of what we're doing in class. So this is my way of getting those to you. I try to keep them as short as possible, but that depends on the length of the assignment. So this is my first one, and this video is help on the work from Mrs. Tromke, who is your new math teacher in grade 8. And this has to do with sales tax and percentages. It is supposed to be a bit of a review, but it seems like some kids might have needed more help with it. So let's go over it together. So for starters, we're going to look at sales tax and restaurants and how to figure out what total cost would be after adding in things such as tax or tip. The first 4 questions here are really just basic questions. What's your favorite restaurant? What do you think a dinner for a family of 4 would cost? What is the sales tax rate in Connecticut on meals, which I will tell you? And what is a fair rate to tip a server? So I'm going to write what I would put for this, but you may use your own answers and then just follow the same processes that I am going to show you. In fact, I hope that is what you do, and I'm sure Mrs. Tromke would agree with me on that. So for starters, what is your favorite restaurant? So my husband is a chef, and he works for a restaurant called Carbone's Kitchen, and I would have to say that that is my favorite. It's really good Italian food. So a dinner for a family of 4 at Carbone's would probably be a little bit pricey. I would say that would cost at least $120. The food's really good, but it is a little pricey. The sales tax rate. What is the sales tax rate in Connecticut on meals? Well, the sales tax rate for most products in Connecticut is 6.35%. However, meals is a little higher. So it is 7.35%. What is a fair rate to tip a server? It depends on service for some people, but just be mindful of the fact that servers do generally get paid less than other people that work in a restaurant. And in general, we think it's fair to tip a server 15 to 20%. And I know a lot of people that work in the restaurant industry, and I know that they depend on that money. So I think that is fair. We tip them 15 to 20%. Now we move on. We're going to answer some more questions about this number. So let's remember, I picked $120. Because right here it says, what would the total cost with tax and tip be if you went with a family of 4 and spent the amount you wrote above, which was $120. And remember, you can use different numbers in this. So I want to encourage you to take out a calculator right now. That will make this a lot easier for you. Remember, you have a calculator built into your computer. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you would need to put into your calculator to figure out the answers to this. We have to find the tax first. That's right here, number 1. In order to find the tax, you take your cost, which was $120, and you multiply it by the tax rate, which we said was 7.35%. But I can't multiply 120 by 7.35. That would be a crazy number, over 800, and we know that that's not accurate. I have to move the decimal point from here 2 spots to the left in order to convert this percentage to a decimal. And after I do that, it would be 0.0735. And that is the number that I multiply $120 by. Now, I highly suggest you take out a calculator to do that calculation. And I will be totally honest with you, that is what I am doing behind my computer right now. And when I put that into the calculator, being mindful of where my decimal point has to be, I get an answer of 882. Nice and even. We know that money has 2 digits at the end, so this is a great number. We don't have to round. So that means that that's my tax. Right here is my tax. Now, I need to give them a tip, right? I have to give my server a tip. So I'm going to take that same amount of 120, and I'm going to multiply it by either 15 or 20%. So with these percentages, the decimal point is here, right, at the end of it. So when I move it 2 spots to the left, I get 0.2 or I get 0.15. I'm going to give my server a 20% tip. So I'm going to multiply 120 by 0.2. And then I'm going to pull out my calculator and I'm going to enter 120 times decimal point 2. And I get 24 when I do that. And that is my tip. Now, for your final step, you have to add all of these together. So what you have to do, and I'm going to slide the screen. No, I'm not going to slide the screen over. I'm going to write it right here. You're going to take your calculator and you're going to enter 120 plus 882 plus 24. And you're going to come up with a final answer. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to do that final step on your own. Okay, let's go to problem 1. Problem 1 says, in a city in Ohio, the sales tax rate is 7.25%. Complete the table to show the sales tax and the total price, including tax, for each item. So, just like we did in the last problem, we have to take that 7.25% and convert it to a decimal. And we do that by moving the decimal point 2 spots to the left. And that makes our new number 0.0725. Because remember, right here, I zero filled after I moved. So I have to take $8, that's the price of my pillow, and multiply it times 0.0725. And you're going to take out your calculator and you are going to do that. And the answer I get when I use my calculator is 0.58, which in money terms, we would say is 58 cents. Now, all I have to do is add the price before tax right here plus the tax to get the total. Just like it is on a receipt from the store. You see your total, you see the amount of tax, and they add them together. So that's your job. Add those together, and you're going to fill it in here. For the blanket, very similar process. You take your 22, cost of the blanket, multiply it by 0.0725. Whatever you get as an answer there goes here. And then once again, you'll add the 2 together to get your total. You're going to finish that on your own. I have full confidence you can handle it. Make sure you use that calculator. That's what it's there for. Problem 2. Here are some of the prices of some items and the amount of sales tax charged on each in Nevada. So these problems are going to work a little bit backwards because they gave us how much sales tax, but they did not give us the rate. So we have to find the rate ourselves. In order to do that, you take, I think of this as X and this is Y. That's just a good way to think of math when you're looking at graphs like that. but you take your y value and divide it by your x value. So, for example, we have a 10 and a 46 cents. So I take 0.46 and I divide it by 10. This is another opportunity for you to use those calculators. When I do 0.46 divided by 10 on the calculator, I get 0.046. However, they want you to give a tax rate, and that should be in a percentage. Since I have a decimal now, this time, to convert it back to a percentage, I move the decimal point 2 spots to the right. And then I get 4.6%. I'm going to give you a hint. These are consistent. So it's 4.6 for each of these. Whatever number you picked, if you did 230 over 50, you would still get 4.6. So you really only have to do one to get your correct answer. B, write an expression for the amount of sales tax charged in dollars on an item that costs dollars. In this situation, we have to bring back that decimal because we're going to do exactly what we did in problem 1. Whatever the cost was in dollars is D, and you multiply that times 0.046 in order to get the sales tax amount. So this is an expression, which is different from an equation. An expression does not include an equal sign, and this would work to determine the tax amount in Nevada. I don't honestly know if the sales tax rate in Nevada is actually 4.6%. I'm just being honest with you guys. I would have to look that up. Problem 3. On Monday, the high was 60 degrees Fahrenheit. On Tuesday, the high was 18% more. How much did the high increase from Monday to Tuesday? So we have 18% more. And we have to multiply our original temperature, which is 60 degrees, by that 18%. But remember, we don't multiply by the percent number. We convert it to a decimal. So we take that 18, the decimal is here, and we move it 2 spots to the left. So now we have 0.18. So all I have to do is take 60, that was my temp, times 0.18. And when I do that on my calculator, I get an answer of 10.8. And that would be degrees Fahrenheit. And this question is asking how much did the high increase? It doesn't ask what the temperature was on Tuesday. It just wants how much did it increase. So your answer actually is 10.8 degrees increase. Just be careful when you're reading word problems that you are mindful of what they're actually asking you for so that you don't do extra work. Okay, this is the last one, thinking beyond. So this one requires a little more thought. We're going to apply some of the things we've learned here. And it says, at a dinner, the meal cost $22 and the sales tax of $1.87 was added to the bill. How much would the sales tax be on a meal that was $66? And what is the tax rate for meals in this city? So let's do this one first because we just learned that. We know that we're going to take this and put it over that. So we have 187 divided by 22. And I'm just going to take out my calculator. I'm going to punch in 1.87 divided by 22. And I get 0.085. However, to get rate, decimal point goes 2 spots to the right. So we would have an 8.5% tax rate. Figured we'd do that first. We just did it. Now, we could take that number and do number 1 without having to worry about trying to figure it out. We can just take 0.085 and multiply it times 66, which is the cost of the new meal in part 1. Now use your calculator and you're going to punch in 66 times 0.085. And I got 561. And it's asking for the sales tax amount. It is not asking for the total amount. So I can go to 1 and answer 561. And we already did part 2, which is right here. All right. I hope that this video helped. I hope everybody did okay. If you have any questions, feel free to tag me in Teams at any time. I will do my best to get to you and help. You're going to learn this about me over the year. I love math. I get it. I like it. I know that might seem weird, but it's the truth. So really, if you need any help with math, I'm here for you. All right. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.